Hello and welcome Crypt Dwellers to the Retro Media Crypt, unearthing the very best in retro media entertainment, in video games and home video. On today's show we've got Hermaphrodites and Mutants with reviews of the 1986 action oddity Never Too Young to Die and the apocalyptic beat-em-up Two Crude Dudes on the Sega Mega Drive. And don't forget to stick around to the end of the video for something special F-Zero related. But first, here's today's news. Out now, under the Arcade Archives banner on the eShop for Nintendo Switch, is the 1984 arcade classic Punch-Out! Timeless gameplay and extremely addictive, Punch-Out features online high scores and offers arcade display settings to reproduce the atmosphere of the arcade game.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look out! Great fighting, George.
And in case you missed it, Gourmet Sentai Bara Yarou was re-released in January by Pico Interactive for the Super Famicom. A welcome reprint, as the original can cost a fortune on the second-hand market and is a fantastic side-scrolling beat-em-up. Now it's time to grab your best high heels and fix your lipstick for this week's film review. The 1986 apocalyptic action comedy love story cheese fest, Never Too Young to Die. Never Too Young to Die was released in 1986 and directed by Gil Bettman, with this Embassy home video release following in 1987. This is one absurd action film that bridges many genres, with the main character Lance Stargrove, a college gymnast, played by John Stamos, having his own theme song.
It's all that you got, Stargrove, flying like you never flown, Stargrove, running through a danger zone, Stargrove.
And the film's villain is Gene Simmons from Kiss as a hermaphrodite gang leader, Velvet Von Ragnar.
Figured out how to access their computers and rechannel radioactive waste so it goes from Diablo Canyon into their drinking water.
Ragnar is trying to poison the city's water supply, but requires a disc, which is in the hands of a secret spy who happens to be Lance's father. Ragnar kills Stargrove Sr., but cannot locate the disc. Learning of his father's death and inheritance, Lance is thrust into the world of his father's work, where he teams up with his best friend and his dad's former associate, Danger, played by Vanity, who must locate the disc and stop Ragnar. With such a ridiculous plot, the film could have been a train wreck, but all the pieces just fit together to create a very entertaining and funny film. Simmons excels as the over-the-top he-she Velvet Von Ragnar, and Vanity is good as the super hot heroine.
Hit the floor, freak. Eat shit.
And the scene where she seduces Lance is just dripping with cheese.
It could be happening, it could be you and me.
Action set pieces are good, and Ragnar and his gang feel like they're from a post-apocalyptic Mad Max film. Sadly, the BBFC cut this by 16 seconds, so if you can, grab the Shout Factory Blu-ray, which released in 2017. Time to go back to the streets of New York City for this week's video game review, with mad scientists and mutants in the futuristic side-scrolling brawler, Two Crude Dudes. Released in 1992 for the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis, Two Crude Dudes is a port of the previous year's arcade game by Data East and is known as Crude Buster in Japan. You play as government-hired thugs who must take on the deadly gang, Big Valley, who destroyed New York City 20 years earlier with a nuclear blast. Now it's up to the Two Crude Dudes to take on Big Valley and its army of mutants to regain control. Playing as a standard 2D scrolling beat 'em up, the game has one ace up its sleeve. Not only can you pick up weapons and items to use and throw, but you can also pick up enemies and vehicles. These muscle-bound dudes can even pick up tanks. Another nice feature is the drinks vending machine. In between levels, players beat up a vending machine to release delicious life-restoring beverages. Pick up a can and fill that health bar. The game is also quite bizarre and humorous, with purple and green midget Santas and robot dogs that chew on your nipples. Overall, Two Crude Dudes is a good entry in the genre, offering up a challenging, comic book styled post-apocalyptic world that features a good variety of mutant boss battles and levels across the ravaged New York setting. You can probably pick up Two Crude Dudes for about £10 to £15 if you want to add it to your Mega Drive collection. Sadly, that's all we've got time for on the Retro Media Crypt today, but if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe, and to play us out today is a drum cover of the Big Blue theme from F-Zero X. Till next time, Crypt Dwellers, goodbye.
3, 2, 1.